This is Music at Maddens with Lynette Fay, and basically I had to start a podcast in Maddens in order to get a snug, because like you never get a snug in this bar ever. And the Sunday Song gig is on once a month, and we're going to be showcasing the artists who are performing at the gigs, because it's a very intimate space up here. Tickets are very limited, space is very limited, so we're just throwing the doors open and bringing you all in. So Beoga are for this month, and with Niamh and Eamon here. Welcome, how are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Great. Yeah. Maddens, the home of trad.
I know.
And we've got a booth.
I know.
And the sun's shining.
I know, it's great.
Do you want to cancel the gig? Or?
I know,
Yes.
exactly. The gig is an inconvenience here at the minute now, to be honest. Looking at that lovely day, it's like, it really is.
What does Maddens mean to you two? But individually, and I suppose as members of Beoga as well over the last 20 plus years.
You want to shoot?
I mean, I'd say we probably have different answers to that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a bit of a blow-in. I'm from Limerick originally, and I've been living in the north for about nearly 15 years now. But for me, it was the first kind of place I came in Belfast, and it's kind of where I made my pals, the local musicians in particular. So for me, it's a bit like coming home, I mean, I've no imagination is the other thing. I always end up here, and so many fantastic places in Belfast to go. We'll go to Maddens, but I suppose that's a testament to what kind of a place it is too. Whereas for you, you've been coming here a lot longer, I would say.
I suppose I was living here in Belfast for years, and then it was, it was where we used to end up all the time, and we'd have great ambitions on a night out. No, we're not going to. Come on, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else for a change, and we'd always end up back in Maddens, and for good reason, because it's the best bar in Ireland.
Correct.
And just, I suppose it's just the music and the no nonsense. The brother Maguire put it beautifully to Pauline, my dear wife, who's from the bosom of West Kerry, and we were living here for years, and she was like, I love Belfast, and I don't. I love coming here, and I love hanging out in Maddens. And the brother said, no small talk, there's no small talk in this town, and particularly this bar. And she was like, that's exactly it, there's no small talk in Maddens, it's straight to the point. And I love it for that, and the music as well, and the hospitality, Bambers, and all the staff really are just sound.
Yeah. And it's that you never know what type of conversation you're going to get into, or who's going to be sitting in the corner.
Totally.
And then the unexpected nights, always the best.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's a good healthy mixture of musicians and wingnuts, and north meets east meets south Belfast. It's
and as well, again, for me, not having lived here all my life or whatever, it's kind of a safe pair of hands. You'll meet someone, and you'll be safe, and you'll be minded, and you'll be welcomed, and it's great.
It's that lovely idea of community, and then there's a sense of home. What does it say about us though when you feel at home when you come into a pub? But anyway, but as a band though, as Beoga over the last 20 plus years, that idea of home to me seems to be very central to what you do, whether it's the people, the places, the landscape, the nature, the music, obviously. Home seems to just be something that is just weaved through everything you do. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm only thinking there, music takes you so far, and we have been fortunate enough to tour all over the place and do some amazing, bits and pieces that where you're really out of your comfort zone. But there's the familiarity of the people that you grew up with, or the places that you grew up with, and what it always does kind of find its way back in. And I think it helps that, well, you're from the area now too, Niamh. I hate to break it to you, but you're now a country Antrim person. But
for sure.
But that the fact that we're all so close geographically to each other, and our reference points on that always feed into it. I think so. Then whenever we're going back to do things on a local level, like come and play a gig at home, everybody knows that and appreciates. The holes in the hedge really, around, and it really does. It finds its way in, be that people or the place. I think to what we're doing, particularly now.
I think as well, there's a kind of a confidence across Ireland at the moment that we're kind of confident enough to look into ourselves a little bit more than maybe we were 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I mean, even if you look at the language or Mancon and all of the talk about mythology and all of that. So, and I think for the band as well, we're kind of like homing pigeons, aren't we? We always come back to each other, and we always want to get back to doing Beoga music and to play together. It's sort of a comfy thing, and it's an exciting thing that we always, no matter all the different things we do, we always come back to that, you know, or seem to always come back to that.
And you're drawn from a well that's never going to run dry. I think that's the beauty of it, but it's the appreciation of that as well. It's time for mass next door. Just talking about home and back in the parish, the reason you're here tonight playing Maddens with very, very limited space, there is going to be a queue around this block looking tickets. Eamon and Niamh have turned off the phones because they are sick of getting text messages from aunties, uncles, relatives looking in tonight. It's not happening, folks. It is not happening. It's done. It's done. But this idea of back to the parish, this isn't the first time you've done this. And the gigs.
No, we did it a couple of years ago, I think was the last we did another run. Portland Owen, Cargan and Ballinascreen. So that was the last three that we did, and we went, we took on a few in the 26 counties this time round. We were in Limerick, Cork, Dublin. Where else were we? Galway. And up to Belfast then tonight. I suppose the back in the parish thing, it's like a chance for us to play new stuff to people that we know that are like that are committed enough to come in to a small place or to a small venue to hear it, and it's just that it's really personal. It's really personal that connection playing music that is new for us to people that know maybe some of our back catalogue or there might be a bit of anticipation to hear the new stuff and it's like. People, I think, whenever they go to the gigs, they think that's, you know, it takes supreme confidence to go out on the stage and play that music. But it's really, for us, it's like kind of bone rattling the first few times you do it, like the new stuff, because you don't know if it's going to land or if people are going to be into it or not. And it, like, whenever you've got people in the room that have committed for years to come and hear you telling you afterwards, you know, that's great, or that works, or I really like this, or really like that. It's like, you know, you feel kind of confident enough to try and take it out to bigger places.
But there's always the danger that they might tell you that they don't like it either. And I suppose,
and that's as valid.
Like
totally. Like it. Like Pauline said to me the other day, and like in the car on the way home, she was like, "I love that. Love this. Listen, this and this. Do you want me? Then the warts and all conversation about what I would move around and I was like, absolutely, you know, because it's people in the room.
And I love that she can have that conversation with us because you trust her.
Totally,
yeah. You know what I mean?
And you know she's got your back.
Yeah, 100%. That it's coming from a really good place. And it's an experiment in that sense, isn't it? Just see what works, what doesn't work, how we feel about it, what we're buzzing from, and all of that is part of what we're actually doing now, which is kind of coming back after a bit of a hiatus. So it's a matter of, you know.
And it's like if it doesn't work in front of 40 people, like it's definitely not going to work in front of, I was going to say 1,040 people, but that's been really, really ambitious. Like, but it's not going to work in a bigger room really without like reimagining it or rethinking it. Like, so I don't know. We particularly with this new album coming, we were like, what can we do here, the five of us, if we're put around one microphone? Like, can we do justice to this music? Can we make it? Can we have a good stab at it? Like, or is this going to be like just like a non-event, you know? So I think it was important to us in the creation of it, and it's also important to us, like when we're playing it out live. I think.
Now this is the most important part of the day, and the reason why we've got a snug here in Maddens as well.
Fantastic, thank you.
Niamh's being good, and Eamon's straight in the pints, and this is 0-0. We're recording this. We're recording this pre-gig. So how many is enough? Too many at this stage of the game, Eamon?
It depends.
Depends on the
person.
person.
Lovely. That's so lovely. You could have.
That's a big creamy pint, as you call it, isn't it?
You'd want to not be going over depending how giddy you are and how comfortable you are with the music.
And how spread out they are.
Yeah.
And this is the last night of the tour.
I'm not fully confident with the new stuff just yet, so I'd say I'll stop after 2.5.
Do you know what though? 3 fast ones is not the same as 3 slow ones.
No, it's true.
So it's more complicated than just the
third
number.
one when you're starting the gig.
Yeah, and ease yourself in that way. You know?
I think you've just come up with a new ad campaign for Guinness there, Niamh. 3 fast ones and 3 slow ones.
Well, you're going to give this game away now.
Go on.
Okay,
Eamon Murray has. Sorry, you.
No, but speaking to the people from Guinness,
okay,
if you're listening,
Guinness, are you listening?
This
is
Date this. What 6th of April?
6th of April 2025.
No, and this is big news. Like, I think it's the most Guinness ad campaign probably since the 90s. And any Guinness drinkers out there will know what Eamon is talking about.
Forget about Michael
okay?
Fassbender. It's Neve done now.
I kept saying, like, whenever...
He kept saying it to me. I'm not a Guinness drinker, but...
I'd be saying to Neve, it's hard to explain.
That's it. So that's so
Yeah,
good.
you can see the campaign now, the big slug.
Silence descends across the bar.
It's hard to explain. You know?
So
The
then how
campaign does itself.
It's
Like,
perfect.
know
Look,
what I
see, look, you get it, right?
cameraman, they're in the
Yeah, so
marketing.
then how do you explain it to her? What do you have to do in order for you to understand what it is to be a Guinness drinker?
Hold your nose.
I just
Get her
I'm
stuck in
I
and
think
split the
do you know what
G.
it is, Lynette. I'm fascinated by the fact that every Guinness drinker I know has a really deep relationship with a pint of Guinness, particularly how good it is, how cold it is, you know, where you get it. Don't go into that place. Go down
Where are
there
the
to get
best
it.
pints,
Where
yeah.
are the best pints. It's this whole lifelong relationship.
And it's another reason why I end up in Maddens all the time. Like,
a good point.
totally. Other bars who will remain unnamed at this intersection in the podcast. Will we go there?
No,
The pints aren't good.
because you know what? It's hard to explain.
Hard to, yeah.
Isn't it deadly? I keep saying it to you, but now you've let the cat is out of the bag. Now
Well, it's
you're
an
after
awful pity
giving
they
the
just
game
have
away.
an album recorded there, because I think there's another set of tunes or a song coming on. It's
Oh,
hard to
well,
explain.
Very true.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in the follow-up. Oh my gosh. With this new album, you said, you've taken a bit of a pause there for a couple of years. 2021 brought the EP Breathe. And that was a particular moment in time when that came out. There was 5 tracks on it. And the Breathe idea, where we did need to just take a beat and work out what was happening in the world in the middle of the pandemic. It was just madness. And there was so many brilliant sounds in that, Up being my favourite, where you sampled the brilliant Maya Angelou. And now 4 years have passed, and here we go. Phases is the new album. These are back in the Parish. You're bringing the music to the people. And then also, you've been performing with Ed Sheeran again in Boston. So is this all part of the phases? Like, what is the crack? What's been going on? There's so much to work out
Where
here.
will we start?
Yeah. Isn't a spill? Come on.
Oh, we'll spill away. No, but to you, Lynette, we'll
Absolutely.
give you the skinny.
Unprecedented access.
Well, actually, the first thing I have to say is you'll get a laugh off this. I wasn't sure about calling the album Phases. 'Cause I think it's a really good name, and I think it really sums up what the album is about and what it means to us and all that. But just in a Nordy accent, I'm not sure.
Phases.
Nobody know what you're saying outside of Madness.
So we really have to enunciate now.
Phases.
Phases.
For the Yanks.
But it is true, you know, I mean, what is it, 23, 24 years we're on the hop now?
Oh yeah, like 23 years, Jesus.
And
Imagine.
I've always just kind of feel like we never back away from a challenge or back away from something new, or it's always like, come on, we'll do that. Yes, we'll give it a go. And
Isn't that great?
Well, I think that's what keeps us going,
Totally.
you know. And
Like-
this is this phase, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and it's the 5 of us going, what can we do together to kind of buzz off this vibe again, you know?
Yeah, but
and-
you've been sitting on it for 2 years.
Picking away at it for 2 years. Like, I think we had Breathe, that was like, or we had an album ready to we were flying in 2020 or 2019, and we had plans, and then of course we had an album ready to come
That
out, and we
which
brought
shall
that
not
out
be named.
into the abyss in 2020, and then Breathe was just like a
response. wasn't it?
really a response. We were kind of not doing everybody was doing nothing, but we were just trying to kick a few things on. And if you're like, you know, if you're 18 or 19 years at that stage, and just like being away a lot with each other, playing music, and like we needed to put it somewhere. So it was I suppose an instrumental commentary on what was going on the world. But then this album was a bit more
It's
considered.
different. It's much different.
Considered, and we were fit to be in the room a lot more, and we were fit to kind of gauge it. We sort of started writing it, and then at those last Back in the Parish sets, we played a lot of the stuff the week before we went into the studio to see, is that landing, is it not? So we had a good feel for what was working and what wasn't working, and you know, we went in and made, for the first time ever, a longer album than we usually would. We had more tracks than we used. So it was kind of, we were more fruitful in the couple of years than I think we thought we were. You know what I mean? When we looked at it all, we were like, Jesus, we've actually come up, we're way over what this album needs to be. So we were intent on bringing this out anyway, and we've been just kind of trying to get the timing right in terms of when can we go on tour, when can we, finish all these things. And Niamh has been busy, and Shano's been busy, and everybody's kind of just,
which is also good.
Yeah,
I think that's really important for a band.
You're all
to have
growing individually and all those different things that you've been doing over
so
the
we've
last
something
number
to
of
say
years.
when we come back together then, which is makes it more kind of, well, it makes it easier to kind of get excited about what's happening, and I think it's good for everybody creatively to step away and do other things, and then, as I said, the home and pigeons, we're back again. It just feels right.
But there was no panic, which was a good thing. There was no urgency. There was nobody like really
under pressure.
Aye.
Yeah.
Like there was nobody apart from our manager once in a while going, he's gonna have to do something. But even she was just like, whatever, when it's ready and the timing's right. So, and then like Ed Sheeran, that conversation we have constantly kind of we're back and forward with him with bits and pieces, and have been since we started working with them in 2017, I suppose. There's always bits and pieces kicking around. Then they mightn't see the light of day,
Yeah.
You could put something, or we could lay something down on a track, and that track might never, you don't know what has happened, but he'll send a quick message, can you fire this on us for a movie, and then the movie never gets made, or the song never makes it, or whatever, these bits and pieces. So we have been kind of working a bit closer with him in the last year, and then he wanted to involve us again a bit with this new record, and his piece popping up and doing his promo thing. So
he's deadly, like he buzzes off the trad thing, and he buzzes off the session, and he buzzes off the sing song, and we're quite happy to jump in and do that with him.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
those
a comfy
gigs,
space for us as well, and it's good crack. Like,
yeah, because those gigs in Boston, obviously, I only saw the snippets on social media, but it had the back in the Parish vibe about it, where it was just kind of you,
very true, actually.
all of you, Ed, kind of in a room. There was a limited crowd there, and you were just vibing.
Yeah, and there was no set list, or it was just kind of bouncing out thing. We would try this and we'll give it a go, and we didn't rehearse. It was kind of.
But like you kind of forget that 20 something years of playing music together, that you get kind of good at playing together, or that's kind of that, like we're just sort of doing a rhythm section thing for him there, and he's just so used to playing on his own that whenever there's 5 people there, that immediately can kind of lock in together, and then he was just sitting on top of it, and it really worked, and he was buzzing off it, and
nobody's more surprised than us. No, but
so
I mean, it was we were like, okay, this is going great,
and
we were buzzing off it. It was great.
You kind of take for granted what you bring to the table sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's so true.
But it's a nice reminder too. The thing about Ed Sheeran and you working with him, 2017, like I can't believe it's that long ago. And that whole Galway girl, Nancy Mulligan, and departure definitely for Beoga in sound and what you were doing. Do you think you would have ever gone down that road if Ed Sheeran hadn't come knocking? Or were you going to develop your sound, and you think that might have happened anyway?
I wonder. I think we would have had to develop our sound, because I think it's just, you can't
say the same
your own head
forever.
or whatever. But whether it would have been that avenue, I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
it's hard to know. But I do think the only thing that we can do is keep developing and keep trying other things, because we need that, kind of creatively.
Even for beyond this record, we're talking about other kind of ideas that would be further sort of development. It's very much in the ethos of what we do, like, or what we've always tried to do, is just to try and not be scared to try stuff.
Yeah,
like it does my head in whenever somebody makes, some artists or musicians, they make an album that connects for one reason or another, and then they constantly try and make that same album
again.
And it's just whenever there's absolutely nothing to be lost by trying to creatively do stuff.
I'm just thinking there. I mean, for the length of time we've been going, we have done that not with albums, but with tracks.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have something like that for the end of the show, because that worked really well. And any time we've done it,
it
just falls out of the set list in a few months.
It doesn't land the same way.
The same. And it's funny, isn't it?
Totally.
You can try so hard, and it's there's no magic formula for why it works.
And do you think though that working with Ed Sheeran and then trying different things over the last few years, and it bringing us to phases, the new record.
Sorry, Lynette.
Phases, big six phases.
But bringing you to this point, that desire to try new things, and also not being afraid to fail. That you're better trying something and it going flat than not trying at all.
Totally.
It takes you to have a lot of confidence in yourself, and I suppose in each other to do that.
Aye. And we are that way. I think we're all blessed. We're all open-minded and all prepared for that. And she's like, "What's the worst that? Do you know what I mean? What's the worst that's going to happen? Really? Like, at least it was, I think it's better to try and see, and to keep trying. And that's kind of where we buzz off making music together, is that nobody's really too entrenched in a musical position. You know what I mean? And like,
I know as well, I suppose I can only speak for myself, but there's a sort of safety for me with ye as fellow collaborators at this point as well, where I'm not afraid to fail, not afraid to make a mistake, I'm not afraid to mess up or whatever. And I don't necessarily have that with everybody. So there is a special dynamic within the five of us that after all the years, there's a trust there that gives us the opportunity to playfulness.
Well, it's funny you say that, because in the new album there's 5 songs. And that, what you've just said there, seems to me that you're also growing in confidence in yourself, Niamh, and shining, if I may say, on this album. You've already had your... Yeah, you had your solo album there, and every way she's glowing. Look, the skin. But you had your solo album came out there a couple of years ago, and then you've on the back of that, then with Beoga now, the 5 songs on this new album, and they're all deadly, Niamh.
Thank you.
And you've written a number of them yourself as well.
There's 4, yeah, 4 there. I think as well, going back to that idea of the 5 of us having that kind of trust in each other, like that you trusted me to bring the songs, you know, that they were like, right, let's try this, let's do this. I didn't feel like there was any resistance to,
Well, you actually sent a Dropbox with loads of songs
and
didn't say, and the ones that everybody were like, well, they're the standout ones there, and they were all the ones that you'd written.
So
no
Don't
way.
be honest.
not so slow.
Oh, yeah. She's no doll, one. She's no doll.
I suppose by the same token, I never wanted to feel like, oh, Jesus, we're going to have to do these songs now, because we can't tell the girl that they're shite, So, are you allowed to say shite in the podcast?
You are.
Okay, sorry.
But it's all about pushing yourself out of the comfort zone too.
It is, but it's also the beauty of having people that are by your side and going, yeah, this is good. We're in this together, and you need both.
It was the best stuff, as well. It was
Thanks,
the best.
Eamon.
It was like it was kind of it was obvious when we're all, and it's a very democratic way that we do, and
everything actually.
Totally, and like it's all of it kind of everybody's. It's not like it's a show of hands, but it's always very much, if somebody's really not feeling it, then they will just not touch it.
Move on.
Or if somebody's like, nobody comes along and says, well, this is my thing, and so you all figure out a part around that because I'm doing this thing. We've never ever landed on music like that. So it's like, it made absolute sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I wrote the songs, but we all wrote those songs because we all sat in that room and put those songs together, and it's very much a collaborative thing.
You can tell in the arrangements as well.
Totally.
Yeah, and
totally.
how they're brought to life. And that's really interesting in itself. And I suppose when you're talking about collaboration, you think about the last couple of albums there that you've had, you have been collaborating with different artists, and it seems now that you're almost collaborating just a wee bit more with yourselves, and with each other.
Totally.
And that's, the layers are all kind of, there's more and more layers on this album.
And more organic, I think. Like the last Carousel thing was very much driven from, not solely from industry people, but there was an agenda behind that. A lot of it, that was like very much about trying to sort of bend genres and collaborate with people,
which
and
was interesting in
totally,
itself.
and like you need to go out and you need to work with these people, you need to work with this person, and everybody had a bit more of an agenda, I would say, with that, without getting too far into it. Although I'm prepared to get too far into it if you want to hear the ins and outs of the music industry. But it's like with the music industry, they're all we were signed at that stage to label and publishing, who, despite their best intentions, they all are really capitalists, you know what I mean? And they all want their moment. They want their moment to be, they want a viral moment, they want a TikTok moment now, they want those things. So you're really trying to straddle the line between what you want to do and the collaboration you want to make with that person, and then being at the mercy of some. I
did wonder with some of the tunes in the new album, when you're 20, 25 or 24, whenever you went into the studio to put these tracks down, what drives you? Who are you doing it for yourselves? Are you doing it for the audience? Are you thinking this is going to take off on Instagram? This will take off on TikTok? You know, because there are so many external pressures that could be on you, or you could be thinking that would be really good to do for this. We could do that and go in that direction with this one. So whenever it comes to putting together a body of work like this, how do you go about it and keep that noise out?
I think this was another thing about this particular album, is that we really made this album for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, really, because it was sort of an antidote to what had kind of gone down with the record companies and all of that industry stuff, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, I personally learned an awful lot.
Yeah.
Musically and otherwise,
Yeah.
and a lot about myself and all that. But I do think we made this album for ourselves.
Entirely.
So we'll figure everything else out.
With no pressure, like, so
Yeah.
this, like, we had 3 record deals in 3 years at that time, and then it was like there was no noise then from any of that. We got away from all, like, we have the same manager, and she's just like entirely in our corner.
And she's fantastic.
You know, and she's
Shout
always
out to Sarah Casey. She's
she has
deadly.
always been like, you need to do what you want to do, and we need to get away from all these other, you know, vampires, you know. And just, if we make a thing that we're really comfortable doing, really comfortable playing, and that kind of stands up on its own, then all the good stuff comes from that, you know what I mean?
Figure it out after that.
I totally. So, like, I mean, in terms of, we haven't thought about anything really, bar a few videos. We had a few video ideas, and, you know, but in terms of, like, people that are better at it than us can make TikTok friendly music, or like Instagram friendly content, and blah blah blah. And we're such an afterthought for us, like such an afterthought. It's such a pain in the arse, but we're getting there with it.
Well,
but
for it to be such an afterthought now, I have to say the video that we've seen so far for the Shore Road Punk is just class, and
He's gorgeous in it.
He's
the little
the
fella.
young lad is
He's
beautiful,
deadly in it. Yeah.
but it's the storytelling, it's the music, and it's the person who's honoured in the piece of music. And I think it's going back to that whole idea of you doing something for yourselves as Beoga. You know, you're drawn from a particular well. It's the well you were all grown up beside. You all grew up beside, and then honouring this man called Paddy Punk. And I just want you to tell the story of Paddy Punk and where this piece of music, the Shore Road Punk, came out of, because it's amazing.
I'm going to let
thank
you take that one.
Paddy,
We're all getting emotional.
It is, we are. I'm well enough, yeah.
No, totally.
Paddy Devlin was a good friend of the band's. Really, he grew up in the Shore Road in Tunbridge, which is where my gang all come from. So I'd have known him since I was a young fella. Really, we all, myself and Shannog, he'd have been around the Cross Keys a lot. He was around music a lot. I actually went to school. I was in class with his oldest son, Oren, and Paddy was like, I mean, charm the birds out of the trees. Anybody that crossed him over the years, you know, and like
Everybody
socially or romantically or any of those, everybody was mad about him. He could have charmed the birds out of the trees. And sadly, we lost him a couple of years ago to motor neuron disease, which was just so awfully sad. But it was like, he was such a rogue, you know, and like it was important that we were just really going to try and honour him in some way that he would be absolutely thrilled about, or he'd be dining out on, you know. So like he lifted me from an A level, like he lifted me from one of my A levels, and like me and him drove to Milltown, you know. But he was like, he was more my father's age, like that, rather, you know what I mean? Like
Some road trip, Eamon. Bet you regret not recording that.
Some crack. We were supposed to go home, and like we were going Monday to Thursday, you know. And it was, Paddy would never have had a mobile at that stage, like, and it was like, where'll I ring now? I was like, what pub will I ring? I was ringing around these pubs around Milltown and out, ringing out Spanish Point, ringing. Did you try the crosses, Anna? I didn't ring the pub. There's a fella out there, Paddy Devlin. Aye, fella in a denim jacket from the north, the shaved head. I said, aye. Will you put him on to me there? Eamon, what? He says, what's going on? I said, I'm just wondering, are we going tomorrow? He said, I haven't a notion of it. He said, I'll meet you in Milltown the day after tomorrow. Perfect. So that was, you know, and then it was just so funny. Like, but he was such a character, and it was just important for us to kind of honor him with, you know,
Totally.
the only thing we could do with a bit of music, and we put a sample of his voice in there at the end, just to kind of.
And even the fact that Shannog went up there and recorded an hour or two of him chatting, like, you know, you don't realise how much that's going to mean when that person is gone or whatever. So it was a really nice touch being able to it still catches me when I hear it. You know, it still catches me.
Hearing his voice at the end, and then the way you delivered it, also seeing his photo, seeing the pictures of him when he was younger as well, and remembering, it was just it was beautiful, and a beautiful tribute to a great man. And I loved your post on socials, Eamon, when you said he'd have loved it. He'd have been lapping it up.
Oh, he'd absolutely loved
telling
it.
everyone.
He'd have loved it. Right. And no, the video as well, it was like, I know it's a bit, it was all, we didn't want to get too kind of abstract with it, but it was like, you know, we just wanted to kind of to try and represent what that experience is like for a small punk-minded kid in the middle of the country, you know, which is what he was.
And there's a little bit of that kid in us all, I think. You know,
Yeah.
that's why we all loved Paddy.
Daring to be
You know, 'cause
different.
we all have that.
Totally.
You know, and we maybe kill it in ourselves now and again for different things, but we all have that childlike kind of.
Well, that's it. There was no conforming in him. That was for
No,
sure. He was just
yeah.
going to be himself and
Yeah.
unapologetically
He was his own
so.
man, for
And
sure.
Oren actually played the bass on the track
Oh, yeah.
as well, his son, which is a nice touch too. He's a deadly player, like he's a great player.
He lives in New Zealand now, but it was nice, like, and you know, we did it, I suppose, in collaboration with the family as well, just to make, you know, and they were all like really behind it, you know. So that just kind of when you get the nod along the way from, you know, on a local level, it kind of like, okay, this is the right path.
They are back in the parish in every way with that track. Anyway, so Niamh, just briefly tell me about the songs then. Anne Bonny was the first one that you decided to release. Why go with that one?
I think Anne Bonny, I love the story of Anne Bonny first of all, but also I think the lads, when I started singing that first, they just started playing. It just happened really easily and really naturally. You can kind of dig in, which is kind of something I think that suits us as a band, like that suits Beoga. But
Tell us the story.
Anne Bonny, I could, once you get me going now, Lynette, it'll be hard to stop me. She was one of the few female pirates on record in history, in the history books. There's very few women pirates on history, and the majority of them are Irish. You know, so there was, of course, Gráinne Mhaol, and just kind of was fascinated by this whole idea and the what we inherit as women now, to have that kind of legacy of female pirates. But she dressed in men's clothes and they didn't know she was a woman, and she was up to all sorts, and she was vicious, like, and she was a drinker, and she was eventually captured and sentenced to be hung for her crimes. And there's a line in the chorus when you hear that passing bell. So the passing bell was rung over the town or over the village, one ring for every soul that was to be hung. So I wanted to kind of get that in there as well. And there's no record of what happened to her after that. You know, she was pardoned from the gallows because she was pregnant, and we don't know what happened to her after that. And
like most women, you don't have a record of their story,
right?
Although the stories were amazing.
I just wanted everybody. I wanted to write her song. I want everybody to know her story and for her to kind of live on. So that was the idea, I guess. You know, and celebrate this mad, powerful, you know, important Irish woman.
Brilliant. And so much conviction then comes with that whenever you're performing it as well. And in the arrangement that you've come up with for that song, also, it's really anthemic.
Yeah, great to hear. Yeah. I think Damien has a bit of a march in the middle of it as well. That's really, it's a bop. You know, it's great. Yeah.
I mean, we can see her marching all right, can't you?
Yeah.
So 5 members in the band, and like you say, you're all supporting each other over 20 years together. Yet there was rumours doing the rounds there a while ago that you were breaking up.
Oh, I was split up.
What was the crack?
I don't know.
We didn't start that rumour, I might add.
I know, it's good, but we didn't crack too many people.
We
you know,
enjoyed
and I really enjoyed listening to hear when you'd hear that back. You know, it's such a pity. Oh, I remember when you. So I don't know. I think
Surprise!
I think people.
No notion.
No, they had
It's
2 and
funny.
2 together and get 5. You know, so but. No, we've all just been kind of tipping away and trying to find the right window to put the, you know, it takes us a while to kind of land on things. We can't, we're quite protracted. I live down the country now, obviously, and you know, the lads are all in the north, so like even just the practicalities of getting together for a long enough period of time to make something, or you know, it's been hard to on that front, but
yeah, but musically I think that works better for us as
It
well.
totally
Like,
does.
you know, I think after 25 odd years, you know, spreading the wings a bit has actually really benefited the creative process for this album.
yeah,
like,
totally.
you know, I
But
really
we
do.
didn't crack to anybody that you know. It kind of helps, you know, whenever you do. Like I noticed that even the last couple of weeks. Not that I'm watching social media numbers or anything, but there's a positive reaction that people will, come back to listen to us, playing music and talking shit. So it's good. And like it is in the last few gigs, so and I know there's small rooms and all that, but it really isn't lost on us at all, because like we put up the few gigs, and I knew Maddens because it was 50 or 60 people. That would be fine. There'd be enough aunts and uncles that would want to come and see us. But like in Cork, we had what was it, 90 people, and I was nervous about selling 90 tickets in Cork. And like I honest to God, skeptical. Like,
and they flew out.
Aye, and it is not lost on us. Like, and it is kind of affirming. Really.
Well, is that you being really modest here? Because
No.
you're choosing you've chosen these really lovely intimate venues. You could have sold a bigger venue for this tour, and a lot of people kind of wondering when they can't get tickets because they've left it to the last minute, and they didn't get the tickets when the tickets went out for sale, and there a lot of people left disappointed that they can't get in, which is good too, because then you've
There'll
left
be
them
more
wanting more.
gigs.
Exactly.
There'll be more gigs.
We'll do a bigger venue or two at the end of the year, but it's just in terms of just from our own perspective, like when you haven't done it for so many years, it's hard to it's hard to gauge it, but Sarah,
we did have that conversation. So Jesus, is there anybody want to come
I
to
know,
these? And lo and behold,
uh,
it worked out.
but it just goes back to that thing, like we're solely like we were going to make this anyway, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
we were picking away at it, and then it was ready, and it's like, okay, we have to put this out now and see.
You really don't get how proud of you we all are. You really don't get it, like, do you? You really don't get it. Like the buzz that there is around here today because Beoga's playing upstairs.
Which is so lovely.
It's
like,
class.
it's not
That's
lost on me how lovely that is. Like,
And it's palpable and it's real and it's not put on. Like, and I think that just, reflects everything that you are about as a band as well. So, like, what do you think is the magic that keeps us together after all these years?
well, I think we like each other, which is helps. I mean, I say that.
Well, you'd
but
want to like Sean, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
so
You're
far so
married to him,
good.
like.
But I do say, I know we're kind of laughing, but I do actually mean that. I think like if we didn't, you wouldn't be able to stick it out because it's it's not easy out there, and traveling around and schlepping around, and there's not as much,
pockets,
not as glamorous as you think it is. But
there's a lot of road you have to do, But I think musically as well, I think it's very much the sum of the parts, like, and like, for example, like Liam will be practicing there today, Liam will practice before he comes up here to this because he likes... He gets really into the detail, and it really holds it a lot, together,
Well, it's as well he is because you're sitting here sculling pints.
Totally, aye. And then, but everybody has their kind of their strength or their thing that just works, and it's just we're very lucky that way, I mean,
I've been buzzing off the gigs the last few
Aye,
months.
totally.
I love playing music with them. Like,
There's
I love it.
There's parts of the gig where somebody can take a bit of pressure off another person, and it's not that doesn't always happen, in musical contexts, where somebody goes in a solo run, but that never really happens. Or like Sean O's the studio there, which is just really invaluable, and his skill set and his musicality is brilliant. And Damien, for example, then wouldn't know. Where to plug the mic in, but if you said to Damien, we need a melody now for this thing, he'll come
Tomorrow.
back. He'll come back with 5, like, and Neve songwriting stuff there. It's just, it's
You're playing to each other's strengths, really, if it all worked out.
Even unbeknownst to yourself, without really thinking about it, it's just
It's a democracy as well, like Damien is lugging vinyls in and out of the things, and I'm glad I'm not doing that job. You know what I mean? That there's sort of, we all have played to our strengths, like,
and you see
Eamon is the king of talking absolute rubbish, and we're so grateful to him for that.
thanks.
And then with the,
what did you say? Charming.
Effervescent.
well, it's true. All you have to do is look at the gam. Effervescent, there you are.
I didn't choose this life, it chose me.
Evidently, Eamon, evidently.
But all joking aside, there is times when you're tired and you didn't get your dinner and you have to get a shower and you're driving for 8 hours, and you're able to go out there and be the front man, and we can kind of just play the music down the back. So there's a lot of value in having somebody that's able to do that as well.
We all like the same things on the road as well, which is very important. We get quite bougie with the food. We could be going and playing a gig where there's absolutely no money, and then we end up somehow in the nice restaurant
drinking really good wine,
money that we don't have. Like, we like going out for dinner, and like if you're on the road, like it's such a make or break thing if you're away from home. Like, and you like it can make or break your day.
Getting the nice food.
It can make or break your gig if you have like that one nice thing in the day. You know, it can just like absolutely save the day, and it gets so you get so micro in your, you know, in your day-to-day stuff, you know. So we like those things. We like extra time in the hotel. We like late checkouts, you know.
We're
nice
also
food.
really mindful of giving each other space, I think,
Totally.
which is like, you know, we're just like grand, you know, and I think that helps as well, you know.
Yeah. It all works out. What has been the lovely part of today then so far, you know, that's going to make tonight's gig work?
This, Lynette, talking to
You're
you.
very good at this, Lynette.
You are very good at this.
Very good at this.
We basically got a booth in Maddens. You got pints. I didn't get a pint. Not yet, anyway.
Oh,
And
there'll
this
be
is-
pints yet, Lynette. Don't be.
This is just deadly.
I
We
love
could do this
Maddens.
all day.
Like, it's in terms of like Pauline came up today. My wife Pauline. I keep saying that.
My wife, Pauline. My wife,
But,
Pauline.
Nice though,
Yeah.
isn't it so nice?
You know, it's just like I have to come up to Maddens. Like it is that
Out
kind
of all the gigs, that's the one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the destination place.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm
it-
so glad we did it last.
I know, and everybody's
We don't have to drive anywhere tomorrow.
everybody's the same, you know. Like it wouldn't. It's just it's the combination of us, I suppose, being from the north and this being the place, you know. So I'm really looking forward to this evening, and I think there's already a bit of a buzz around. So and the
Yeah,
sun's shining.
the sun's shining. Sure, it's just all set up for
It's meant to be.
Last question. What keeps you in the hustle? Because it is a hustle as a musician, full-time musician. It's not an easy
I
life.
think we're kind of half mad. I think that's what keeps us
You know that
going.
Killian Welsh song, like
Everything is free.
We're going to do it anyway, even if it doesn't pay. Is like she just hit it on the head, because like there's just we want to do this, like, and everybody wants to kind of be playing music. I think once that's what you do, you just kind of need to do it. And I like being out and kind of showing off, you know what I mean? Or like I like just being out and front and socializing, and I like kind of doing that
And
thing.
meeting ones, and totally.
It's just become such a part of your whole identity, like that it's really hard to imagine a life where you don't do that in some shape or form. So
It's funny talking about that song as well, in particular. Something very different happens when you dedicate your whole life to doing something rather than having a job and doing something, you know, that when you're...
Purpose.
Yeah, there's something different happens to your creativity and your music and how you approach things, like, and I'm not sure quite what that is, but it is different. And, you know, psychologically even, or whatever, when you kind of dedicate yourself to it.
like over the years, even when I was like, if I had jobs or like other things, it was always with a means to get into a point where you could go back and play music again. Always, you know.
It's what you do, it's who you are.
And it's like that. It's there's just, I think the hustle in terms of it. It's all a bit of a sideshow. Like I think we're sort of planning a record beyond this and planning like other things, and I think we're like we just kind of want to be doing that, and the hustle just is a thing that goes with it. And I don't think we're not really that ambitious at the minute, which is great. You know, there's nobody in our gang that thinks that we're ever gonna like have a number one, or
Because that can be dangerous.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So we haven't thought that way in a while. And I mean,
I mean, in terms of ambitions, we want people to hear this album. We hope they enjoy it. We want to
Yeah.
get out and play it and have the opportunity to buzz off the gigs, and that's the ambition, really. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
but sometimes if you get too ambitious, it kind of there's an imbalance with the creativity, because there's so much pressure there to deliver, and you're not being at your most creative. And I could see that with it. And then, you know, in terms of you saying that this album phases, can't keep saying that. When's the
I
t-shirt
shouldn't have
coming? I need to
said, I
get a
shouldn't
t-shirt.
have said that now.
I want a t-shirt. Phases. Beoga phases. You know, freedom comes with that as well. Doing what you want to do, being the musician. You know, you've got a lot of freedom with your voices and your music as well.
and I think like it's taken us a while to kind of realize that is the ideal spot for us. You know, I suppose when we were signed to label people, they do kind of convince you that, you know, that there's another way. You know, that there's another way, and you just do this, and this, and then you'll be in the 3 Arena. You know,
And then they stop
And it
answering
just-
the phone.
It just doesn't. You know what I mean? And you're like, really? Oh yeah. And I suppose we've come at this the last few years, absolutely taking entire ownership of it and ownership of what we want to do. And I think it's people, whether they know that's what why they're buying into something, you know, people, well, unbeknownst to themselves, they can smell a rat, like, you know what I mean?
Aye.
They can smell something that's too.
People aren't stupid.
No, they're
No.
not. And like even it's just like people have a nose for kind of wading through what is, some kind of industry plant or some kind of a thing or some kind of an agenda with someone that has money or a label or a manager or whatever, you know what I mean? And I think it's the more we stay away from that, the more it'll suit us, I think.
I think it just makes everything so much easier for us too, because at least if people are enjoying what you're doing, they're enjoying something that we love, rather than, oh gosh, I'm doing this. Or, that there's a lot more honesty and kind of
it's down to true connection.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
But like
It's
in
easier.
terms of the hustle, like I often would rant to Pauline about it and be like, I don't want any of the noise like from all of these the internet and screens and fucking numbers and all these things. Like what I would love in our life, and it's so achievable, our musical life, is like if we can keep like creating stuff that we're excited about.
It's a pleasure to play for us.
That we enjoy playing, and that you go out to people, and by some miracle, those people want to come and buy a ticket for the thing. And that's not lost on us. And we have the same manager who'll stick with us until she just gets absolutely fed up. Like, that's all I would love to just be fit to do that process, really simply, and let all the noise kind of go away from it.
And make enough money to be all right.
Hi.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I think if we kind of keep that simple kind of ethos, I think it'll all sort of fall into place. Not sure if it doesn't, we're going to do it anyway.
And we love it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep on fighting the good fight. Just a couple of questions before you go. Who is the organizer of the band?
Organizer
or
the most organized?
They're two very different things.
Most organized.
Liam is so organized
about certain things.
He's really organized. Like Liam's laptop and his home screen and all those things, like, it's
immaculate.
So immaculate. Like, he looks at my phone and he's like, how do you do
Betcha he's got no unread messages in his inbox.
No.
Yeah.
Thousands, by the way.
Same.
Thousands.
Yeah.
But big picture, I'm all over it. Wide thinking.
So you're a match made in heaven, the pair of you now.
You're fairly organised.
I'm fairly organised, but I'd be more like a detail. I'm details. Like, hang on a minute now. I mean, you could say Sean Oak too. Sean Oak is very organised and books everything, and it's all.
Yeah. Sean Oak will do a lot of the travel stuff. But like, for example, there somebody had to go and liaise with and find typos and just proof all the album cover work.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have an egg if I thought I had to do that. Like,
we got flights in the other day. Are these flights okay? And we all said yes. And Sean Oak said they're on the wrong day.
Okay, yeah.
So Sean Oak was the only one that actually
picked it up.
Yeah.
So
those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So it's good that you have the backup.
There's a balance.
Who takes the longest to get ready?
Oh, me, 100%. Yeah.
I thought it would have been Eamon.
No,
I can knock this together quickly. Thanks.
Who's the morning person?
Not me.
I'm pretty good in the mornings. Damien's pretty good in the mornings.
And the others we take a minute.
I wake early. But like, I can go to bed and just like, I can be asleep in 10 seconds.
Do you good one to get up with a nice coffee and wander
around
the town?
I'll wander around. Like, I'm usually up at 7:30.
On your own, usually.
Yeah. I like to hold it over everybody then. Oh, you missed the nice place.
You're that annoying. You're that annoying person.
The bougie place at
the market or whatever.
I hate that. So then, are you the one who has constantly got most energy then as well?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And who's the last out of the pub?
It's fairly stiff competition there.
There could be anybody.
We're all pretty.
Well, do you know what always happens, right? What always happens is that Damien and myself are usually at the back, making sure everybody sort of walks home the one direction. Like, Sean and Liam will not mind me saying you're grand, but Sean and Liam go a bit. Thunderbirds are, they go a bit kind of loosey goosey. So it's usually myself and Damien at the back, just sort of
herding cats,
goalkeeping.
Hope you get now.
They're kind of
singing or something in the middle. Like,
woo! But we usually corral everybody home.
Do you know what? We're usually all last out of the pub.
Yeah.
Love and life. I'll say I'll be last out of Maddens tonight for
I'd
sure.
say so.
That's it. Come here. It's been great to talk to the two of you today. Thanks for making the time to chat to us on our first music at Maddens.
First of many, Lynette.
There we go.
You're so good at this.
Thanks very much, Eamon.
We love you.
Have another pint just before the gig. Nave Dunn, Eamon Murray, Gurmaigov.